Hey, you guys are listening to 88.9 The Cage. You are on air. You guys are listening to Fandom Life, and I am your host, Sean Tasker. My guests are already decided to start laughing at me. Say hi, guys.
What's up, Sean?
Hey, Sean.
Yeah? Was that funny?
That was funny.
No.
That was great. It was great.
I don't know why he's laughing,
You're
honestly.
the man, Sean. I love you.
Okay, but today, like I said, this is Fandom Life, and we are arguing over Marvel vs. DC. This is a special episode. Usually, we only talk about one... We only talk about one kind of fandom or something, but since last weekend we were off the air because of the 3-day weekend, which was awesome, by the way.
What up?
So we're doing a double episode today, which is Marvel vs. DC, and fighting for Marvel is...
Brady Pope.
And fighting for DC...
Eammon Larsen.
And so if you guys like comics, stick around. You guys are going to enjoy this. If you guys know someone else that is super into comics, tell them to listen up. This is going to be good. So you have a little bit of time. I'm going to play Back in Black by AC/DC, which was featured in the Iron Man movie.
Marvel.
Yes, it
Throwing
was.
that out there.
Who?
What?
So like I said, guys, go get someone that you know that loves comic books and tell them to listen right here, 88.9 FM to Fandom Life. It's from 8 to 10 p.m. Here we go, guys. But right now it's Back in Black by AC/DC. Enjoy. Due to copyright purposes, the song cannot be played. That was Back in Black by AC/DC. Once again, you guys are on 88.9 FM. You guys are listening to The Cage. This is Fandom Life. We are talking... Alright, we're talking about Marvel vs. DC. Once again, we have two guys on. Brady Pope is for Marvel. Eammon Larsen is for DC. If you guys have anything you want to contribute to this conversation, you absolutely can. You can text KAGE with whatever you want to say to 66746, or you can tweet it, hashtag CageFandomLife. If you don't know how to spell that, it's KAGE, fan, and then DOMLIFE. It's pretty simple. But you guys can contribute. You guys can be part of this conversation. You guys can give your opinion.
Spell that one more time.
Hey, can you spell that for us one more time?
Spell one more time.
Tweet some stuff.
KAGEFANDOMLIFE.
Love you, Sean.
No, okay, so first of all, the way I start off every show is I quiz the guests on the logos on my fandom hat. So let's see what you guys can team up. Which ones do you guys know?
Disney, Doctor Who, Lord of the Rings,
Hunger Games, Pokemon.
Supernatural.
Yeah, I want to say that's Supernatural.
Supernatural.
Keep going.
Supernatural.
Just,
Keep going.
He's just
Firefly, Harry Potter, Star Trek,
Star Wars.
Sherlock. Oh, Avengers.
Avengers, for sure, yeah.
Did you get this one?
I have no idea what that is. Like Wings?
Wings. The band Wings.
The band Wings.
I don't know what
no
this
idea.
T is, and one of these is. What is that?
It's like a messed up yin yang sign.
Probably.
It's a square. Think. Sean, you know those are circles, right? Not squares.
Do you need
Just
to?
kidding.
Oh, really? I had no idea. I had no clue.
Just so you know now. I'm
Okay,
just
so
kidding.
it's Pokemon, Hunger Games. That one's Supernatural. It's Castiel's
Oh.
Wings.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings, Doctor Who, Avengers, Disney, Star Wars, Percy Jackson,
Okay.
I knew it.
The Trident.
Okay.
221B is Sherlock. That's Firefly.
That's what I said.
That's Harry Potter. That's Star Trek. That's Tumblr.
Oh wait, that
all-
one's the S is Sean Tasker. Okay,
Yeah, the
I
S, the
remember
big
now.
ST is Sean Tasker. And then that yin and yang is the Zombie Research Society.
Yeah. Oh, I'm an idiot.
Should have known.
Why didn't I see that coming?
Well, that was the reason that's on the hat is just, that's the first thing I ever nerded out about.
Yeah.
And so I enjoy. I'm a member of the Zombie Research Society. It's a real thing. You guys can look it up. It's an actual.
Have you ever heard of it? 'Cause I haven't heard of it.
I don't think I've ever heard of it either.
It's apparently not that big.
No, it's really not. I can tell you right now, it's not that big. No, but so how'd you guys get into comics? Brady? How'd you get into Marvel comics?
Well, I kind of grew up with it. My first superhero comic I ever got was Captain America. The issue I probably don't know, but it was from there that I grew to love Marvel and the Avengers and everything else.
All right, Eamon.
My mom used to work at the library, so we'd go visit her on her
Mhm.
late night shifts. Late night is until 9 o'clock, you know. It's
Yeah.
libraries. And I'd just go to the comic book session, and I actually started reading Marvel, Fantastic Four, when the zombies took over, you know, which I thought
okay.
was so cool.
Yeah.
But then I started reading DC. I just got hooked on it because, let's face it, DC's best. And then, and then what really hooked me was the death of Superman. series, so
Yeah, but you actually
That was
have
a
that
happy day.
whole
I mean, what?
series.
I have the whole series, right?
Yeah, you have the whole series in one big book. It looks like probably like 10 pounds.
Yeah, that's
15 actually.
You weighed it? No,
I
no.
just wanted to sound cool.
Yeah.
It's
12.3
that
pounds
big.
to be exact.
Oh, you've got a book. I've got my shield.
Oh, he's got
So
his
what?
Captain America shield
What
made
up?
out. But wait, you're a totally legit shield that's made out of what was it again? What is
Metal.
it? Uh huh. Totally
metal
not.
Sounds like metal.
It's totally
Wow.
not a pizza box.
Metal could come
Was
in
it
that
a
color.
pizza? Yeah, it was a big.
That was a pizza
wasn't
box.
it?
Yeah.
Correction. It was about 3 pizza boxes.
Oh,
Please.
Therefore, it can probably withstand half a bullet.
Third, I'd say third actually.
Third. We'll go with third.
A third.
A Nerf bullet. You can block a Nerf bullet.
Maybe.
It's fine. It's fine.
Maybe.
Don't be, too crazy.
I already put a dent in it.
Holy cow.
No, but if you guys went to the Institute Dance at the costume party, you will recognize Brady as the one who won it. For
There's 3 winners.
others 3, but okay,
Yeah.
you were one of the winners for Captain America. You had
Give them credit as well.
really.
I
You're gonna-
just wanted to see what to do.
It would make noise.
Stop it.
Stop
I
breathing.
just can't help it.
Stop whistling into the mic. No, but you did the Winter Soldier Captain America, right? With like the
Yep.
star and like the 3
That was
lines
sick.
on it. It looked really cool. And then like right after that, I saw you dancing with 6 chicks all at once. You guys were all like armed in arm, like in a big
Girls,
circle.
Please, don't say chick.
Females.
Booyah!
The female gender.
The female gender. Not of the male, the female.
It was the costume. It wasn't me.
Hey, I never knew that jacket that you borrowed. I never got that back.
Yeah, I did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I
Where's
totally
it,
gave
Brady?
it. It's in your closet.
Uh huh.
It should be at least. If it's not, well, what happened to your cardigans? Your cardigans. Anyway, let's get back on subject.
And then Eamon, you know a lot about you. Like, don't you write screenplays for DC or something? You wanna be a writer?
I do want to be a writer. Thanks for telling everybody. Yeah.
What? What is? Did you not want people to know that?
As soon as the show's over, I'm anyways, ha 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 ha. But yes, I want to be a writer and it'd be fantastic to write for DC. See what I can do for them. But
Well, aren't you
yeah.
What story are you working on
They
right
need
now? You
all
said
the
it-
help they can get. What?
Oh, shots have been fired.
Oh,
No, but
I'm
aren't you
not gonna
basing
do
aren't you
that.
basing a screenplay off of a specific book?
The Death of Superman, the one I got hooked on. I
Yeah?
started writing it when I was 12, and the first official draft I ever finished,
Mhm.
handed it to my dad because he's a professor at film at BYU, and he teaches screenwriting there. I think I
Mhm.
told you guys this. And he reads the first 20 pages, hands it back to me, and says, "Eamon, rewrite this." Gosh dang it!
Try
So-
again.
Yep. Well, so far it's come so far.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, opening arguments. Brady, why is Marvel better than DC?
Okay. Okay, let's
Let me
be
stop
on.
you right there.
Whoa, Eamon. Okay.
Well, nope, you're wrong.
My opinion, Marvel is better because the superheroes aren't exactly like over the top overpowered. Marvel heroes they can die easily. They can they have a lot of weaknesses where I feel with DC, the good guy always can overpower the bad guy a lot faster and a lot easier. But that's just my opinion. But also they just have fantastic personalities.
And Eamon, why is DC better than Marvel?
Well, first off, Superman. Did you see how it took how many Avengers to stop an alien invasion? And it took one Superman to stop an alien invasion.
think you just proved my point.
Against
What?
a bunch of other people with powers just like him. The
Just
Avengers are just, aliens.
But they
I'm not saying the movie was bad. I loved, worship that movie.
But did
Stop
they know
it.
how to use their powers when they got to the...
Yeah, the General Zod.
It
By
took
the end
him
of it,
long
he just
enough.
like, boom.
Okay. But say all of them learned at the same time. Would Superman win that?
Hey, they got most of their powers intact. They had their super strength. They couldn't fly. That was like the main difference. They couldn't fly. But they could jump. They could hit
Laser
him as
beam?
hard. Yeah, they couldn't laser beam him. But hey, you got super strength and you can jump and, beat somebody like that.
Talk about your overpowered superhero. What?
Look at Hulk! Are you kidding me?
Really?
Overpowered
Really?
superheroes? Are you kidding me?
Hulk gets wasted by Thor.
No, he doesn't.
Thor wins.
Did you?
There was one comic where Hulk actually beat him, and that's just because every time Hulk gets, like, if he gets angry, the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets. So he couldn't pick up Thor's hammer, and finally, after, like, hours of them fighting him and Hulk getting more and more pissed off, he finally picked up the hammer and threw it right back at Thor. That's the only way he won.
Stan Lee, who made Marvel what it is today, once said that if you're ever going to make two heroes fight, make them tie. You never, ever want to have one hero better than another, because then it makes the lesser hero inadequate and practically useless.
Well, let's be honest. I'm pretty sure Hawkeye would lose to every single one of the Avengers. So,
Well, I don't know. He's Hawkeye. I mean,
well, he's got some pretty crazy.
if I could use an
arrows,
example
but-
for that, I was reading Marvel Civil War. Did you read that one?
Mm.
Oh, it's so good. That's like almost turned me Marvel. Then I was like, no. But there's this part where Captain America and Iron Man are fighting, and you think Iron Man would have the advantage. He's got the suit, he's got all those the blasters, the rockets,
All the fancy gadgets.
Yeah, all the fancy gadgets. But the first time Iron Man whoops him, right? Second time Captain America whoops him, and so it's like you said, neither one. It ended 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
Score one for both. So, and same with in The Dark Knight Returns. Anybody read that? Frank
The
Miller?
comic that
That kind of Dark Knight Rises is based off of. But in that, Superman and Batman have a showdown, finally. And, Batman's got a suit, he's got all these gadgets with him, but at the end, it's like a tie. They both, Superman doesn't want to use his full power, so he restrains himself because he doesn't, Bruce is like his best friend, doesn't want to kill him, doesn't want to hurt him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said again, they just,
Right.
ended it.
I will
with a really sick ending.
give Batman his props. Pretty sure he's the only one that could kill all of the Justice League.
Oh, he
Just
does.
Yeah, he practically does in one.
Yeah, does, yeah.
That was an
Babel, Tower of
insane
Babel.
comic.
It was wonderful. Really well written.
So I just quoted Stan Lee. Is there a Stan Lee equivalent for DC?
No. What?
Yeah. Well, Stan Lee created Marvel. I mean, what do
Well,
you
actually,
mean? Like,
technically it was Jack Kirby and another guy, and they were actually doing comics for a newspaper, which Stan Lee was hired on as just an assistant at the beginning. But then Stan Lee slowly got bigger and bigger, started creating his own characters like SpiderMan and stuff. But yeah, so he's the one that brought Marvel to what it is today. He didn't necessarily create it, but he's the one that has propelled it farther than it ever could have been without him. So do you think there's a DC equivalent for that?
that's a good question.
Thank you.
Well, I think just like Stan Lee is, you don't really hear a lot of other, creator of comics names.
Right.
Maybe Alan Moore. I mean, he didn't create DC, but he came in like the 70s and the 80s
Mm-hmm.
and just skyrocketed DC sales and popularity just because of how gritty he wrote them.
Okay.
How real. I mean, I got a big collection of them right here in my hand.
Yeah, I tried to read that. It was.
Yeah, I mean, it has the one like one of the most well-known Batman Joker things called the Killing Joke.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Everybody listening should read it.
Everybody.
Everybody, unless you can't handle,
Pure awesomeness.
yeah, unless you're lame. But I mean,
Oh.
whoa.
What?
But to answer your question,
Okay.
no, I don't.
No.
I don't think there's anybody like Stanley.
Okay. Yeah. So that's 1 point Marvel. Definitely right there. That has been denied.
They've showed that they really appreciate him by putting him in all of the videos for
Yeah.
sure, and
Producer.
that's
credits.
always fun. Always see what Stanley's
His
gonna do
cameo.
in the next video. I mean, in Hulk, he drinks the. I think it was milk, the syrup milk,
like the poison.
and he dies. And in Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man,
when they break into
the library,
library,
he's listening to music. He doesn't even know what happens. Turns around.
Tony
sees-
Stark calls him Hugh
Holy crap.
Hefner.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
Iron Man. He is when in Captain America when he comes out.
Yeah, he's one of the generals.
And he's like, I thought he'd be taller.
Or even though like the Fantastic Fours were just total trash, but it was still fun because like he was trying to get in their wedding. He's like, I'm Stan Lee, and they're just like, sure you are, and they're pushing him away.
Sure you are.
Weren't they also like his mailman or something?
I think that, well, it was the second one when he was trying to get in the wedding, so it
Yeah.
could have been in the first
Yeah,
one that he was the mailman.
We
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
talk about the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, we really don't talk about that. Oh.
You don't like the Fantastic Four?
Let's just say I'm excited for
The reboot.
the reboot,
Yeah.
to be completely honest. I really
didn't-
hope they do a lot
I saw a
more.
link saying like what the new cast was, but I didn't like actually take the time to look at it, dude.
One of them was an Jesse Chronicle.
Okay.
Jesse Chronicle, or
Yeah.
oh gosh, had the African American guy in it. Michael B. Jordan, I think is his name.
Michael Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
Totally not Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that's Michael B. Jordan. Anyways, I think if you saw his face, I think you know who I'd be talking about.
Superpowers, jumping really high. Snapping people down.
But yeah, I don't
Sticking
think
his tongue out.
They purposely didn't get a lot of big name people.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
It's Marvel
Yeah.
and Disney. They do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Don't question them. Stop questioning them.
Yeah. Once
Stop it.
Once DC bought, or I mean, no, once Disney bought Marvel, I think that's when Marvel got back to where it belongs. Because at first it was okay, but with the Batman movies, that I think
Yeah,
is
after
that
Dark
the-
Knight.
Yeah.
Actually,
Dark Knight
I actually
changed
met a
everything.
guy who called Marvel a sellout for
Really?
going over to Disney, and I was just like, well, if it weren't for Disney, Marvel would be gone.
Yeah.
You do realize that, right?
Yeah,
Like, we would
DC
not have the Avengers, we would not have anything
How
if it
long
weren't
ago
for the
did they buy
fact
them?
that Disney bought. Oh,
Was
it was
a
years
couple
ago.
Years ago?
Yeah, it was because it was before the whole Star Wars thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Was it like
I think it was like 2009.
it was
Ish.
after Iron Man, right?
Yeah, I think because in Iron Man 2 is when they had that's when they had like Shield and Natasha Romanoff, and so that's when they were like let's link everything together and make it all
Right, with
fancy.
Phil Coulson, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Which, by the way, have you noticed
His
how
first name is
DC's trying to
Agent.
slowly do that? They're like, well, Marvel came out with the Avengers, so we're gonna have to somehow throw together the Justice League.
Well, they were gonna do the Justice League, and then they decided to make it let's just do Batman versus Superman.
They decided, oh, we probably can't do that well enough. We should probably not.
well, they just don't have a lot of. I mean, look at Marvel came out with a movie for every one of the heroes, and I mean,
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Hawkeye
saying.
and Black Widow were featured in the movies.
Black Widow's getting her own movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you
Scarlett
serious?
Johansson. What?
I'm excited.
What?
What? Scarlett?
I really wanted
Marry me?
it to be
What's that?
What Happened in Budapest, because
Oh, that'd be so funny.
Black Widow says something like this
Just
reminds me
This
of
reminds me of Budapest. And then Hawkeye, you and I remember Budapest
very differently.
Very differently.
So I want a movie just What Happened in Budapest.
Just
That'd be cool.
what happened?
What happened?
That would be the best movie. Just the
that'd be
two of them.
great. And their witty banter.
So what do
Yeah.
you guys think, though? Do you think in this new Captain America
Winter
movie,
Soldier?
or the Winter Soldier, yeah, do you think they're gonna?
Bucky.
Oh yeah, that's really intense.
That's gonna tear at my heartstrings.
Bucky, but-
Exactly, but
what about Bucky?
I'm
For
not
those of you who
talking
don't know,
about
just-
Bucky.
We're not gonna.
but I'm
spoil
talking
anything.
about Black Widow and Captain America.
Oh, yeah,
In
yeah.
the trailer, they're kind of getting close. You never
Little
know.
bit. But she's like, if
Nobody
you ask
wants
that
that.
one chick out from accounting, she would say yes.
It's
Sometimes girls
flirting.
do that, They're like, hey,
Why don't you ask this person?
This is
Yeah,
out, but
it's
really
just
they're
like,
thinking,
ask
why do you-
me.
exactly. So you never know. She could be pulling that with him because they get pretty close. They're fighting together.
I don't know. I gotta say,
Hawkeye's not in this movie, so that means she's spending a lot of time with Captain America.
I ship Hawkeye with Black Widow. And if you guys don't know,
I
what,
see kind of like more of a friendship in them. Like it's like,
Friend zone.
yeah.
oh
I feel like it's a friend
Oh.
zone from like both of them. There's
no, because I feel like Katniss Everdeen would be the perfect love child between the two of them. If you think about it,
Oh.
Katniss Everdeen from Hunger Games would be the perfect love child.
That's actually a good.
Also, Black Widow.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Hey Jen, call me.
Right. 'Cause she has your number.
girlfriend.
Yeah, you have a girlfriend.
Anyway,
Lana Del Rey,
She's fantastic.
Carly Rae Jepsen.
Maddie, you're
get
the best.
on subject. Eammon.
Back on focus. So earlier we were talking about how within Marvel universe, you can't have one character be better than the other, at least to any real amount. But between Marvel and DC, there are a lot of characters that are super similar. And so we're going to talk about that. Primarily Iron Man versus Batman. They're both very, very similar characters. And
That'd be
if you guys have an opinion, you can text KAGE with whatever you think is better, Iron Man or Batman, to 66746.
Really good matchup.
All right, so let's hear it, guys. Who's better, Iron Man or Batman? Because they're both
Better.
both
that's a
super
strong
filthy
word.
rich. They both make their own gadgets and don't have any real
let's ask the
powers.
first question. Who has more money? Because that tends to win the match.
That is Tony Stark. They Forbes magazine has actually done the research and realized.
Wow.
Yeah, and realized that Tony Stark.
We've done the research.
Nerd. No.
We've done the
Hey,
research
I'm
on
a-
this character that doesn't exist in this company that doesn't exist.
Well,
and
they did that
we-
for Batman too.
We realized
It's
that
online. You're like,
they would
Yeah.
have more money.
Yeah,
heck?
well, they did it. They did it for both of them so that you
who's
could see.
wasting their
And
life
Iron
doing
Man
this?
is richer than Bruce
Okay.
Wayne.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, at the same time, though, I will have to give this to Batman. He tends to think more outside the box. Tony Stark,
He's got a contingency for like everything.
yeah. So Tony Stark, when it comes to technology, I feel like he would have the upper hand.
I agree.
But when it comes to combat and the like with his strategy on how to beat like Batman, it wouldn't happen. Batman would have the advantage there.
I mean, because when you think about it, Batman has taken on like every single person in the DC universe. You know,
Pretty
from-
much.
He's the only
like,
one that could beat
the
Superman.
baddest bad. Yeah, like literally.
Yeah, a lot of people
So-
don't know that Batman can beat Superman because Superman gave Batman a kryptonite ring.
Just so he could
Yeah.
beat him. He
So
said,
that-
if I go bad, this is what you do.
Yeah,
Take me out. And he also, most people don't know this, he gave him a red kryptonite too, which is worse.
What's red kryptonite?
Red kryptonite. It's in the story where Batman.
It's not like
Takes out the
Smallville.
justice league.
It's not Smallville. It
That-
doesn't
that
turn him
TV
it doesn't turn him bad, like, and make him his
Mm-hmm.
hormones go crazy. He's definitely. That's what happens in Smallville. If any of you have watched that
The
before,
card-
but
or
Red
the-
Kryptonite's different.
It's hard to describe, but like because they don't describe it in the comic, they show it, like they visualize it. So like the best way I can say it is.
No, keep
You
going.
whisper.
What were we saying?
No.
All right, sorry, no, and then he but it basically just. Brady, I'm gonna slap you.
Just
I'm not
And then
talking.
he's
Guys,
just gonna- he's-
focus.
It basically just overcharges the cells, and so everything is amplified. So
Mhm.
what he hears is times 1,000 what he sees, and just so
Yeah.
it's just terrible. Like 10,000 headaches times Superman.
Wow.
So and literally you could see like it's so powerful you can see his insides out, and it's just. And like he says, they say they go to find Batman because Batman's like, I did this to
Yeah,
you.
it's
These are my
nasty.
plans, right?
Uh huh.
Yes, it really is kind of gross, but it's kind of cool.
Kind of like in the Man of Steel movie.
No.
No.
Not like that.
Oh.
It's
Well,
more painful. No.
More
Anyways,
I just remember. I remember. I was watching that movie today. Today I watched Man of Steel and I watched Captain America. Because they're like the leading icons of the two universes. So I was like, I gotta watch the movies again. Which, by the way, how did you guys feel? So yeah, Eamon, how did you feel about the Man of Steel movie?
it could have been better. It was the right. I mean, I thought Henry Cavill as Superman was fantastic. Everybody else, just
Subpar.
Russell Crowe was great. I thought, but I wish
When is Russell Crowe not great? Come on.
I can give you a couple.
Okay, yeah. So,
For the most
he's got
part.
more going on for him.
Yeah,
than-
yeah.
Russell Crowe is pretty awesome.
But yeah, I'd have to say as well, like just to voice my opinion about Man of Steel is just, it's hard to make a movie about a superhero that strong, that fantastic, and I feel like they did a good job with having more than one villain coming at him at one time,
Uh-huh.
and it's not like it was an easy fight for him. I mean, he was getting whooped for a little while there.
Yeah.
But they really portrayed like how he just overcame it. How he really went for it. Yeah, I'll give it to that. I'll give that to him.
Yeah.
Alright.
See, that's another thing about Superman. It's hard to write a movie about him because, ever since Dark Knight, people want realism. People want
Right.
realistic. Avengers kind of took that away as soon as the aliens showed up. It's just
Yeah.
okay. As soon as Thor showed up, it's like okay, that realism is gone. But with Superman, it's like he can fly. It's hard to write something about a hero who can do everything.
Yeah. Which I always compare Superman to the Model T, which was the first car made. Because Superman was the first real superhero. But now in this day and age, he's just old school and not original in any way anymore.
I feel like they just keep giving him stuff. But like we've had this argument before, Eamon and he says I'm wrong, but I never remembered Superman having like blizzard breath or something like that.
He's always had that. Hasn't he
So-
always had that?
So like
I remember the Powerpuff Girls having that.
yeah,
Love that shit.
and
We'll talk about that
as soon
another
as I saw it, I was like, what? Did they turn Superman to a freaking Pokemon? Like what is this? Like why does he suddenly
Level up.
yeah, like he can just suddenly like freeze everything. With just his
Superman
breath,
evolves
like,
into Super
He
Superman.
now has one more power.
Well, he did that in think that's been all the way since the original Superman movie. Well, not with Christopher Reeve, the original Christopher Reeve.
I guess I never really,
78.
I never saw that.
You never saw that?
Well, I didn't see the originals, like the original Superman. Because let's be honest, like
it's for the time, you know.
For its time, it was probably pretty good, but like for
it's
today,
very,
it's just
very
like,
different. You know, we want. Like,
you could probably see like the rope that he's attached to.
But I mean, it's like the visual, like flying effects for him in that first one. I mean, were revolutionary.
Really?
And they still look good to this day. But I mean, you can tell it's like, you know.
Yeah.
But it's, I think it'll stand the test of time just because it's Christopher Reeve and Superman put together to meet Chrisman. Chrisman.
Not Christmas. Chrisman.
Exactly.
Close.
Close.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I actually read somewhere that originally at the very, very beginning, Superman was actually created as a super villain by a bunch of like high schoolers who were, you know, just goofing around and drew like a cartoon or whatever. And then as it changed, like they decided to like completely scrap the character but leave the name, and so then he became a hero instead of a villain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I emphasized "row" on that. I said hero.
I think.
Hero.
Yeah. That sounds.
I think we kind of went off like on a super far tangent. Were we
What were
talking
we
about,
talking about?
Iron Man and Batman
Yeah,
fighting?
yeah, okay, yeah.
No. He asked
That-
us a new question about.
Oh,
the movies.
okay.
Well, because that we got into the top. But yeah, so back to Iron Man and Batman. So
I thought we answered that.
well,
We
just
didn't. We kind of just talked about.
Iron Man's richer. Batman has better fighting skills.
That's a technology Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be a pretty even fight, honestly.
Yeah.
And
I just feel like if Iron Man could get a good shot off with like whatever technology he has. Oh no, I know exactly what he could do. He could just use that like on Iron Man 1, you know that paralyzing screech thing that they have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You use that against Batman and Batman doesn't see it coming. It's easy. Instant paralysis takes him out because
That's
of that
true.
technology. But without that, then it becomes a pretty even fight because Batman, it's not like Batman has, you know, crappy technology. He's
Right.
probably got like right there in second place, you know.
Yeah.
So
Especially with Morgan Freeman designing all this stuff.
And I think if we're talking film wise,
Yeah.
I would take Christian Bale's Batman over Iron Man any day.
yeah, if we're talking film, I would take it as well, just
I
because.
mean,
Iron Man was fantastic and all, but it still did not take you out of your seat like
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight did.
I mean, love the film.
Batman
Iron
Begins
Man's
and-
fantastic.
In Dark Knight.
So in the movie version, Batman's better, and then in the comics, if we were just to do the comics, what would you say?
I feel like Iron Man.
I think I'd have to agree
So-
with that because of the technology.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty even tie.
I
Bigger,
think so.
it's kind of like, you know, the bigger the gun, you know,
Mhm.
the better you'll do. And
Bigger stick wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think I'd say that was a pretty even fight. So.
All right.
It'd be a dang good fight. I'd pay money to see that.
I would pay money. They're beating each other for our enjoyment. It's great. I love it. Yes.
Yeah. So our audience, you guys that are listening, if you guys have an opinion, since this has come to a nice tie, if you guys say which one over the other, text KAGE with either Iron Man or Batman to 66746, and then whichever side gets the most votes will win this argument. Because right now it is a nice even tie. But as we were just saying, the two leading icons really of each universe is he's allowed to cough.
No. Sorry, keep going.
Bodily functions are allowed.
Not all of them.
Sneezing, coughing, burping.
Do you have more
Okay.
of those?
I just have this.
That's
It's my last cough drop.
Oh.
I knew I should have brought some. Sorry, keep going.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. But yeah, so between Captain America and Superman, Brady, you start.
Superman.
Superman all
It's-
the way.
it's-
That's
it's
not
like in
even a
the-
real
The
question.
college-
Come on.
You know you guys the college humor video.
Let's go. You know, the world's cheapest, most ridiculous superhero versus the only one that's on steroids, pretty much. Like,
That's true.
Come
The
on.
super secret.
he'd throw his
soldier
shield and it would
serum.
probably bend on Superman. Superman would just like look at it and it would just cower away. The shield would just be like, no, I don't want to hit him.
it's like when college humor when it's like Superman meets Superman and Batman team up. You know.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, you could have taken Bane out with one arm.
No, yeah, but
Yeah,
you
just
could see
the
that with
one
one
arm.
arm. Like, really?
Yeah.
He's like, my worst villain is Bane. He
He's just-
straight up broke my back.
He's just a roided out jock.
And Superman, like, that's the real deal. Like, Superman could have just destroyed Bane, like, with his pinky.
But
Yeah.
I think Captain America still would have put up a fight.
Oh,
He
without
would
that.
have tried.
Yeah.
Stop it!
Runs
You're
up,
tickling
punches
me,
up,
Cap.
So fighting skills, Superman wins.
Okay,
Superman wins his
but-
power.
Hold on.
With his eyes, you can
Let's
just blast
throw
him
in
half.
this twist here.
Mhm.
If Captain America puts kryptonite in his shield,
Ooh, that'd be nice.
'Kay.
Glazes it like a nice glaze. of
because the way
kryptonite.
that they're it glazes, it makes it a liquid form. No,
Melts
but
it
if you,
down.
You want to glaze it real nice. You set it in the oven for about 30 minutes, and then your kryptonite shield should be ready.
Ding! Oh, my shield's done.
We already prepared this one earlier, so you can see what it'll look like when it's done.
While this one's cooking.
No, but I'm saying like if he could like, because the way that they're making Superman these days, where they're not making it where he just pretty much is dead on the floor whenever he's around kryptonite, but like he becomes like a human.
Right.
And, you know, he's still pretty strong, but not like
He's
super
not-
duper
he's
strong.
not-
Yeah, yeah.
He's just the man.
He's
Yeah,
exactly.
He's still a ripped
So
dude
like when it would be
with
like
fighting
that,
skills.
that kind of Superman versus
Oh,
Captain America. Captain America would have the advantage
All right.
because he actually has the combat sense. You know, he knows how to fight.
Mhm.
Superman relies way too much on his powers. I feel like.
Well, I mean, if you have power, why wouldn't you rely on it?
Yeah,
Honestly.
yeah, exactly. But when you take that power
Oh.
away, that superhero suddenly becomes
You still,
worthless.
both I think
He would
are-
try to pull up a fight though.
Both
Like,
are
he
still
would.
the heroes that are good for the sake of good. I think both stand. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
morally, I think.
And
they're
you
both
know
the
the
best.
American way and et cetera, et cetera. One's from Brooklyn, one's from Kansas. Kansas.
We're not Kansas anymore, Dodo.
Oh,
But yeah.
Random Wizard of Oz. Okay.
There's no place
I
like
thought
home.
that's what we were
Click,
talking
click,
about.
click.
We talk accents on the show. How does my accent sound? Text in to KAGE. Whatever the rest of that is. Be like,
Fandom live
Fandom. FANDOM.
LIF. Why?
Why? What? Lifey. Sorry, Sean. He's looking at us weird again.
Okay, so fighting skill is
If we're not in class on Monday, you know what happened.
so fighting skill Superman would generically win, and then if he had kryptonite, then Captain America would win. But then
That seems to be the only way to beat Superman.
There is a
Sorry.
point though when Superman is just completely immune to kryptonite.
Well,
I think Kingdom Come.
you know,
or something
after
like that.
all of his enemies have somehow gotten their hands on this very rare rock that everyone says is rare, but
well, because all of his enemies are filthy rich.
so it's like your immune system. Every time you take in something bad, it hopefully builds back up and is stronger the next time.
That,
Yeah.
that's what.
And so it's like-
But it's not a
show's
sickness, though. That's the thing. It's just that Earth's atmosphere and sun and everything,
Enhance him or something.
Yeah, enhances him, and so the kryptonite doesn't hurt him. It just puts him back to where he
Man,
should be.
Nowadays it does. It used to just hurt him and kill him.
Yeah,
now it's
sure.
more of.
You like, I like Smallville's. See, I make fun of it, and at the same time, I think they did some good things with it. Like,
Yeah.
for example, there was this one guy that kind of he found out about Clark, and he felt like he was a super threat to the world.
Mhm.
So he actually in the episode was trying to kill him,
Right.
and so he made a bullet out of kryptonite and shot it, and so Clark heard it, and you know how he's super fast. He
Yeah.
tried to grab it, but because it was a kryptonite bullet, it went right through his hand, and he freaked out and booked it out of there.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
that I liked how they portrayed that, because it was kryptonite, his body couldn't stop it.
yeah,
a
it
normal
didn't
bullet.
just bounce
the man.
off.
Yeah, kryptonite makes him just the man.
Yeah.
Which
So-
is why he gives the ring, the kryptonite to Batman, because he knows Batman
Could take him.
would take him. Batman would do what he had to do.
So if you took the fighting out of it, then that still leaves personality, leadership skills, their purpose.
Mm-hmm. Like my sister said about Captain America, when it came to she's like watching the movie, even the movie version, when they show him really small and tiny, she's like I would still like him for his personality,
Yeah.
because he's just he's so nice, and just good.
Which is good to be for the sake of being good.
Yeah, good for good. But yeah, then same with Superman. Even if he wasn't the bulking, huge,
Yeah.
Superman.
When wasn't he bulky and huge? I'm sure he came
Yeah,
out
I
of
know,
the
right?
pod like
But
a
yeah.
beast.
But they still would be good, I think. So,
Yeah.
Morally, like you said. they're
So
fine.
you think they're pretty tied when it comes to purpose
Yeah.
and morals and.
But I think battle-wise, Superman.
Sorry, random thought. How did Superman get so buff? If you think about it, as a kid he could lift anything. It's to get bulky you have to lift things that wear
normally-
you out.
Yeah.
And Superman There's no such thing on Earth that would really like wear him out. Did he like laser beam an entire mountain through like at the bottom and start like bench pressing mountains or something? Like I've been wondering that. Like, how does he get buff? Like, you have to like break down your muscles for them to grow bigger. So it's like, how did he break down his muscles? Did he like punch himself or something?
Or maybe
it's just the sun. That's just they never really bothered
to
explain
it. The sun is his steroid, apparently.
They never really bothered to explain that. It's just the sun.
Yeah, just
his power and his
just
muscle.
a more helpful atmosphere and everything just helps his cells a lot more than.
If you're hearing this, America, stop polluting the air because
You're killing Superman.
No, you're killing us because we could be like Superman if it weren't for the pollution.
What the heck?
Come on.
What the heck?
The air isn't good enough.
Come on. Come on.
I'm sure Adam and Eve were just like, they looked like they were on roids or something because
The
air was not
Roided up
polluted
jocks.
and they were just awesome.
She was just buff and everything.
She was
he's all
She-Hulk and Adam was probably like Hulk.
And he was just like, hey, you want that apple from the top of the tree? Let me just pull the tree out. Oh, here you go, baby.
Just all the flexing is like. I think
Did you
it's over
see the
there.
bush over there?
The awkward flex point.
Or the fish under there?
There's the pig with the bacon in it.
You can't see us, but we are flexing our arms.
and hey, how far away can they hear us? This is random. Like, can we feel how far away?
They,
Like here? Can they hear us fine?
Yes, they can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Don't.
Anyway.
Yeah. So we've decided that Superman wins in that because they're tied and everything except for fighting ability. And
Oh yeah, Superman would just
Superman, yes.
Superman would win. Unfortunately. Let's be honest.
Not unfortunately.
But let me just point this out though. Marvel picks their like leader out of his like abilities. Superman's just kind of like nobody wants to mess with him.
Well, he's
a good leader,
and he's good.
He's a good leader, but like they didn't make it like their most powerful superhero.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, like DC's most powerful superhero is Superman, and they also gave him like the most leadership ability. You know?
Right.
But at the same time, Superman always, when it comes to planning things, or when it comes to strategy, or when it comes to, contingency, he always leaves it to Batman. Like, I think that says a lot about their relationship. He just is like, he's like, okay, I'll lead, but when it comes to when times get really rough, I'll be that example, but I'll leave the planning to Batman, because he'll do what has to be done.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, sorry,
Um,
continue.
Some other character similarities, reflections that I've noticed were Hawkeye and Green Arrow. 'Cause they're both
That would
archery.
be sick.
If them two fought it out,
I don't know if they'd fight or if they'd have an archery match. They'd be like, hey, you see that
7,000
can over
yards
there?
away.
Yeah.
I think I do.
who can it?
how many shots do you think it'll take to hit that? Just one.
And then like one gets a bullseye, then the second one that does it, like he goes through the first guy's arrow, so it's an exact side.
So this guy shoots Black Canary, Green Arrow's girlfriend, and he's got a bow and arrow too.
What's his name?
I don't know the
You guys
bad. I don't know the bad guys. He's just
I love how
he's
you guys
like.
are pulling out comics. I brought all these like different things so you guys can make
Well, this one's mine.
references.
See, he catches the arrow. The guy shoots at him, and then shoots it back at him. So he catches it, shoots it back at him.
Like, have you seen?
Yeah.
The both of you have seen the CW show Arrow, right?
No,
Oh, yeah, I
I
have.
haven't watched Arrow.
So
So
good.
it's a DC show, and the Marvel guy has seen it. Huh. But yeah, no, it's cool because
There's no other show in the world that makes me want to do parkour and archery more than that
Right?
show.
How did he even do that? Wow.
yeah, no,
It's-
so it's
You haven't seen it. You don't even know. It's insane. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Bana, so it's Green Arrow, and then Black Canary as a character, and then Slade as a is in there,
Love Slade.
Oh my gosh.
They
What
make
they've done
so-
with Slade is insane.
right? With the Mitakudu.
Oh, yeah.
And then they made references to Ra's al Ghul and the League of Assassins, League of Shadows, same thing.
They even threw
of
in like
Shadows.
Flash on this.
Well,
the
in
second
this-
season.
in
Well,
this
from what
show-
I'm told, I actually that was the last episode I saw was when the kid got
Electrocuted.
zapped. Yeah,
Yeah, and that is Barry Allen. So that is the
that
Flash's origin story.
yeah. So
One of the mini flashes.
So it's interesting.
Yeah,
I, feel,
there's,
I
like,
feel like they're doing, with
4 or 5.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., how they're kind of like trying to connect the stories with a TV show.
Yeah.
I feel like with Arrow, they're going to be doing that to make the Justice League.
Okay.
Because they're throwing in random characters. So, like, they've introduced the League of Shadows. Slade, they're throwing in Flash in there. Because Flash,
Yeah.
let's be honest, he's not an A-class superhero. Like,
Right.
But he's
not-
cool.
But he's cool, so he's like he's
the
a good
Flash
B or
is
C
my
class.
favorite
Because
DC character.
all he does is he just runs fast, and like
Yeah.
because of how fast he moves, he can do things like move through walls and stuff.
Yeah,
like
he
that.
can like
Vibrate
vibrate
walls,
his
vibrate.
molecules to go through stuff.
It's
So,
really
like-
cool.
Yeah, it's like cool and all, but like that's not enough to make you like an A-class superhero, right?
Yeah.
Like no matter what he tries or what he does, he's
Yep.
not gonna really put a dent in Superman.
Yeah, but so there's the Flash that's in the Justice League. There's the Flash that's in the Justice Society, which was before the Justice League, and that's full of a bunch of old geezers
The
and
original.
stuff. Superheroes.
like,
And
DC.
was Superman a member of the Justice Society?
No, I don't believe so.
Who was in that? There was the first
there was
Flash.
the original Flash. There was a guy
There
who
was
looked like Black Panther, but he wasn't.
There was a
Black
Green
Cat,
Lantern, but not
no,
Hal
he's
Jordan.
the original Green Lantern. Well, not the original. Like he was I guess the first version.
Uh-huh. But it wasn't Hal Jordan
his
or
weakness
Kyle.
Is Wood,
Kyle
the
Connolly.
original like green dude.
Was
Really?
Static Shock in the?
It's,
He was in.
Static Shock is
No, it's DC.
yeah DC.
It's DC, but I'm saying
Love
like,
Static
was he
Shock.
in the?
So cool.
Was he no? But he's actually an original superhero, which is pretty cool. Was he in the Justice Society or the Justice League?
I think it's Justice League. They've always kept him, I think, like a teenager, no matter what. So, but yeah. Yeah.
All right. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna play Kryptonite from Three Doors Down, which is a Superman-based song.
Which is funny. I recommended that one. The Marvel guy.
The Marvel guy recommended the.
Hey,
the
I recommended half of the songs.
You recommended Hero, which is from SpiderMan.
Yes.
Which is
and
Marvel.
AC/DC,
Yep.
which is
That
in
was
most
me.
of the. No, I said that.
We both said that.
Okay, we both.
You
said
both.
that.
You guys said it at the exact same time, and then I said Jinx for you.
You did?
Yeah.
You owe me a
It's
coke.
totally.
Well, we've been talking this entire time, so apparently we are terrible at this game.
Oh, Sean, you're here.
Oh.
This is awkward.
Well, that's bizarre.
Wow.
Due to copyright purposes, this song cannot be played. Hey guys, once again, you guys are listening to 88.9 The Cage. You guys are listening to Fandom Life. This is DC versus Marvel. I'm your host, Sean Tasker. Supporting Marvel is Brady Pope. Supporting DC is Eammon Larsen. Before we went on a music break and listened to Kryptonite by Three Doors Down, we kind of got off on a tangent, but the conversation we were supposed to be talking about was who's better, Hawkeye or Green Arrow. We decided that it'd be a really cool fight to watch, but we didn't really decide who would win.
Well, you gotta think about the story. So Hawkeye, he's military trained. He's been I don't know. I guess he's been doing it for a very long time if you think about it. But then if you think about the backstory of Green Arrow, he kind of learned everything on an island. So
No?
Eamon disagrees with me on this one, but
No, keep going. Keep going.
anyway. So I don't know. I feel like with his military background, I feel like Hawkeye would have the advantage at the very end, but it would
I
be
do
a
like that
dang
one,
close fight.
That'd be a cool fight to see.
That would.
I think Hawkeye would win that one too.
Once
Really?
again, I would pay to see that fight.
Yeah. Pay to see people. Like Gladiators, I would just pay, see Russell Crowe beat people up, but whatever. Yeah,
Totally.
I think Hawkeye would win that one too.
All right. So we've come to a mutual agreement that.
I mean, it'd be super cool. They
Oh, yeah.
both come up with really good fights.
Split each other's arrows in the middle of
Yeah, like
mid-fight.
they both like shoot at
you
the same
fire and then I'll fire. All right, then we'll just. We gotta stop this.
And then it just like splits and
We'll
turns
see
like
who
to
can
four.
snipe who first. We'll go really far away.
On top of two different
Let's
skyscrapers.
be honest though, I've never seen anything with Green Arrow where he doesn't look and shoot something like Hawkeye did. Hawkeye is just talking
In
on
the
the radio
Avengers?
in the Avengers,
Mhm.
and he just pulls it back and shoots it from behind him and nails something.
You've never seen Hawkeye catch an arrow, and as I just showed you, Green Arrow's being hunted by this other guy with an arrow who's trying to prove that he's better than Green Arrow.
Yeah.
And so Green Arrow catches him. The guy shoots an arrow. Green Arrow catches it, then turns it and shoots it back at him.
I feel like it'd be in comparison of hardness between the two. I think it'd be a lot harder to shoot someone dead on from behind, when you pull back and shoot from behind you, than it would be to catch an arrow. I'm not
you
saying
tried catching an arrow?
I'm not saying.
How do you think you got this?
Yeah, we'll
Catching
try that
arrows
later.
so
Apparently,
easy.
No, I'm not saying either is easy, for sure. I mean, it's gonna be dang hard to catch an arrow. But
Don't go try and catch an arrow. You don't
moral of
endorse
the
that.
story, people.
That's the
Don't
moral of
try
the
to
story.
catch an arrow. If you do, use a flucho arrow. That's
Yes.
without a tip.
Mhm.
That's for bird
It'll still
hunting.
hurt. A lot.
I take archery.
Oh, nerd. No, archery's gotten so big recently. Like we were talking about this, like with Legolas and Katniss and Hawkeye, and
Mention of
Green Arrow
Regulus
has the
and
show.
Kindness.
And they all
And a
use
baby.
they all pretty much use recurve bows. So they don't use
I was talking about it with a friend the other day, and I could not remember what that was called. I remember there's compound and simple, and I could not remember the word
There's actually
recurve.
one more. It's called straight. That's where the straight bow was pretty much the long bow. It's where like everything really originated from.
Oh, okay.
The recurve bow came out of that. They think it was due to humidity, like
Yeah.
a certain people invaded with a certain wood,
Mm-hmm.
and because it was a more humid climate, the
It
wood
just
bent and
bent.
became a recurve. And they're like, oh, this actually works differently, and it kind of
It's a
Better.
little bit better.
better.
I like
Like,
it.
Mhm.
I like
it doesn't shoot as far, but it shoots
Mhm.
a heck of a lot harder. Like so, and then from that came the compound bow.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So we've gotten that.
But we should
Hawkeye.
point out actually, Green Arrow and Hawkeye use different bows. Green Arrow's is just a normal.
recurve.
It's a he uses a
In the
compound.
in the comics.
Okay, in the
See,
comics,
in the-
nobody
in the
the
television
comics.
show they change it. In the comics, it's just a regular bow.
Recurve.
It's hard because you just gotta take all considerations in because
Yeah.
you're talking comics. You've got
And yeah,
recurve,
Yeah,
you're taking,
when I
like,
was talking to
Hawkeye
people about what
comes
I should talk about in the show, they were always like, "Well, are you talking about comics or the movies?" I'm like, "We're gonna try to mix them.
Movie. Yeah.
We're gonna try. Yeah, we're trying
You
to
gotta
mix.
try it. It's got to be a good balance.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's comics, movies, there's TV shows, and there's video games that all can play a part in this.
It's like Lord of the Rings. You just shouldn't
Yeah.
talk
Which,
about it because.
well,
there's
actually,
so
I'm,
much.
I will talk about Lord of the Rings
Oh,
at some point.
can we come?
You guys can listen.
I like Lord of the Rings.
You guys can listen on 88.9 FM, The Cage. But yeah.
Anyways.
But yeah, we will talk about, or I will talk about Lord of the Rings with another guest later on, and that's gonna be a really fun show, I think, because that has such a big. But anyway, so then there's also we were talking about. Very nice, you're wearing the Batman glasses.
Yeah, they don't fit my head.
No, they fit my head, because I have a small head.
Small head.
Yeah.
Small body.
I'm an itty bitty child.
Small eyes.
Little known fact, I'm actually 12 years old. No,
explains. Just kidding.
I see how it is. I see how it is. No. Okay, so earlier we were talking about the Justice League and how there's also the Justice Society and the Teen Titans and Young Justice. And then on the Marvel side, they have X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and the Avengers. Between the DC Universe and the Marvel Universe, which one do you think makes better teams?
Oof.
Eamon, you go first.
Wait. Gosh.
Fine, Brady goes first.
Wait,
Someone.
wait.
Okay.
Anybody.
Well, Justice League is. I mean, there was actually a comic where both universes collided.
Really?
Great comic series. And again, like earlier, they were evenly matched.
Really?
Yep. But it was cool. There was a cool fight scene with Batman and Captain America. But anyways,
Batman and Captain America. Okay.
it was pretty.
And that's your guys.
Well, you've got to match up characters that can actually match up.
And then
like,
Superman
yeah.
took on Thor, and it was
Yeah.
it was so cool.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, sorry.
who took on Hulk? I wonder.
Hulk wasn't in it. It was really weird. I was like,
Oh
what's
yeah,
Hulk?
it's probably because you can't throw in Hulk because he would have torn so many
Yeah.
DC characters apart. Because
I
Just
think
like literally rip them in half.
Wonder Woman,
Probably,
Superman,
yeah.
and Batman obviously could take anybody. And Green Lantern I think could take. But anyways, I don't know. That's a tough question.
So-
Because they got like DC's got Teen Titans and Young Justice, which is essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
Young Justice is a little darker though, I'd say.
Yeah, I like the teen. My favorite thing from Teen Titans when that was a cartoon on Cartoon Network. I was like always like Beast Boy's the best. Beast Boy was
there's
so
an
cool.
episode. So Beast Boy was just this. He's just this goofball of a character throughout the entire series. And then there's one episode where Slade.
Mm-hmm.
They found out he manipulated Beast Boy's technical girlfriend, I guess you could call her, and she like turns to stone. And
I
like
remember
the
that one.
last like 10 minutes of the episode, Beast Boy loses it and just tears Slade apart.
It
There's
was
a,
sick.
Really?
At the very end,
I remember
Slade
this
is
one,
limping
yes.
away and running
Oh my
because
gosh.
Beast Boy just tore him apart. And you're just like, wow, like the biggest goofball character that you never took serious just destroyed like the main bad guy of the whole
Yeah.
entire series.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
It's awesome.
That was actually probably the best episode out of the whole entire series, in my opinion.
But yeah, Beast Boy. Because I always love how they made Beast Boy vegetarian, which makes sense. He's just like, because he's like, I've been all of those animals that you're eating right now. So
But anyways, back to the original question, I guess.
yeah, so fighting ability. We
I would go fighting ability. I would go with DC
DC.
because of Batman and Robin, and all of Batman's prodigies are in each of the teams
Mm-hmm.
except Justice Society, and so they're each led by Batman.
Okay.
prodigies. So,
Okay.
I mean, I love both. I love both of them.
My argument would be because we just haven't, because we talked about how we're gonna have to mesh the comics, the videos, the TV series, all that together and kind of make a whole of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would still have to go with the fact that the Avengers did not get along at the beginning.
Right.
And seeing how we still don't have like evidence, like a video or anything of the Justice League and how they get along from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, there are hundreds just animated movies that
I mean, they only
not
went
a lot of people see, but
for-
they are good.
Yeah.
for one battle they weren't as a team, but after that, then they all became a team, and
After
so
Phil got
killed.
Phil!
Even though they bring him back in
Agents of Shield, which I
Why?
think
They
I think
shouldn't
he's a droid. I do. I think that he's like a robot with like
Have you
skin
watched
and all
it?
this.
Have any of us watched it?
I'm completely caught up.
Yet.
I am completely caught up on Agents of Shield.
Because didn't Thor come in for like one episode?
No, they've referenced every single one of them,
So they
but
referenced him that.
but none of them has ever like actually been on the screen.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
They like talk about how they talk about the Battle of New York all the time, and it's like, oh, ever since the Battle of New York, everything has changed. And
Say it every episode.
yeah, right?
I feel like I'm gonna have to really catch up on that before Winter Soldier because I hear like it's a big part of what's going on.
Really?
Yeah, because that's the whole reason why they made Agents of Shield was to connect all the movies and make it that much more epic. Like when the movie comes out, it's supposedly supposed to go along with what's happening in the TV shows.
Huh.
Well, I say that, but it's
Joss
really
Whedon's
actually
in
like
charge of it, so
it's really actually like
of course.
they tell them what's gonna happen in the movie, and then
Mhm.
whoever's making the show kind of like tries to connect it through episodes.
Are you using subliminal messages now?
No, I'm not.
Anyway, so
stupid.
Who said that?
Hey,
Sean, knock it off.
Okay.
Gosh,
It's all my fault.
supposed to be the mediator.
I'm working on it. It's tough. You guys
You
make
can't-
really convincing arguments, and I'm like DC Marvel, DC Marvel. DC
Going back
Marvel.
to the original question, ending this.
So what?
This whatever you guys are talking about. I would have to unfortunately give it to the Justice League. I feel like they work much better as a team from the very beginning than the Avengers. I mean, at the very end, if we're talking Endgame,
Mhm.
it would be a tie for sure about how with teamwork. But from the very beginning, the get-go, I feel like the Justice League or DC has it.
I think X-Men though would whoop almost everybody else. So
Oh, okay.
Wolverine, Captain America.
Well, see, they would be the only like. Well, the thing is, even inside of that though,
Wait, what did I say?
Wolverine and Cyclops fight like no one's business.
I love it.
In all comics and in all shows, just so that's why I feel like as a team, Justice League still has it because like let's
you
be
got
honest,
Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman,
yeah.
Hawkman, and nobody
And
knows
Marvel's
him, but he's a
biggest
tank.
team, like I don't know, I feel like the X-Men are like they're more of a team than the Avengers. The Avengers are like solo heroes being put together, but the X-Men like
They're like a family.
yeah, exactly, and they have to be in a team. All missions they go on, they're
with
practically
each other.
all together. So it's not like they split up and do their own thing, and then randomly when aliens attack the world, they come together. No, X-Men are always together. So that's why I feel like, even with our biggest
Biggest guns, yeah.
like our
I mean,
contribution, I guess you could call it, towards the question of if Marvel would be a better team than DC, then I'd have to say no, because even our best team, X-Men, have their problems within
Yeah, that's true.
the organization.
So, DC wins that one. They have the best teamwork. All right. This is something that we have to do for legal purposes. You guys listen to KAGJ-FM Ephraim. That is our legal ID. I'm required to say that on top of every hour, and it is currently 9 p.m. Once again, you guys listen to Fandom Life. We're doing DC versus Marvel. Your host, Sean Tasker. Marvel is Brady Pope. DC is Eammon Larsen. I almost said Eammon Larsen, and then I was like Armin Larsen.
That's it. I'm out of here.
I'm sorry.
At least you got my name right.
Right?
You take that back.
Like from the other side of like the window.
Oh wait, are we still allowed to talk like British people?
Oh my gosh.
Let's talk about if Superman was British and Captain America was Captain Britannia.
Britannia.
Oh, Britannia.
Well, I don't think it'd be-
Let's not do that.
I don't think
Just in
he'd be
case there are
captain, I think he'd be
people
corporal.
from Britain
Old man
listening.
Batman.
I think he'd be corporal.
And they
Britain.
smile, their teeth are
Corporal
all...
Britain.
Yeah, because I want to be captain. I don't know. I want to be.
Do they have captains? I don't
Yeah,
even know.
of course,
I don't
it's military.
Well, but it's a different military system.
But they still have captains.
I don't know.
Captains could be.
Captains
I
like a
have no idea.
right thing. Anyways,
Anyway,
I have
let's
no
go. Let's go on to the next question.
All right. So, who are your guys' favorite characters and why?
Thought we already talked about this.
I'm
pretty
a
sure
little
they
bit.
actually.
What?
I don't remember talking about it.
Oh,
Well,
I think
we've-
we've made it pretty apparent.
How your favorite is definitely Beast Boy, and your favorite is definitely
Slade?
Slade.
Yeah, I read your shirt says.
Beast
My
Boy.
shirt says Beast Boy.
And totally doesn't say
Oh,
Captain
no.
America.
Eamon had a Captain America shirt, and I was
And
like,
an
I'm
Avengers
totally
shirt
wearing that
and a Superman
to the talk show. So
You-
I am currently wearing a Captain America shirt.
Eamon definitely has more comic book stuff. He has more movies. He has posters. He has, books. Yeah. So.
But I have a great personality.
Oh, you hear that,
Justin
ladies? You hear that, ladies? Brady Pope has a great
And let me guess,
personality.
you have a great
Let me
personality.
guess.
From Cusco.
No.
Ew.
And let me
Ew.
guess.
You have a great personality.
Great personality.
That's so terrible.
He's my favorite superhero.
He's my favorite Disney princess.
Wait, top three favorite superheroes. Go.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Top three? Well, Captain America for sure.
Obviously.
So I'm just going Marvel, right? Because that's what
Well,
I'm
I mean,
defending.
If
Don't
you-
even cross the line, bro.
If your favorite one of your top three is from DC Universe,
Well, I like so Captain America is definitely in first, just because he's a stud.
yeah, without a doubt.
Not the real definition of it though. Don't look that up. And then there's
Focus.
Logan. Wolverine is definitely in second place because when Captain America in the comics he actually dies because the serum actually just didn't work with his body and it was slowly killing him.
Mm-hmm.
Wolverine steps up and pretty much becomes the head of the Avengers. Just because he has more combat sense. He's been around a lot longer. And he remains around a lot longer because he just ages so incredibly slow. Anyway, and then the third is actually just because of the way they've been portraying Thor lately. I like the new Thor. I don't like the old Thor of I love Iron Man in the way that doth mother know you're wearing her drapes. Her drapes.
Shakespeare in the Park.
Shakespeare in the Park. Anyway, but yeah. Yeah, but no, I like the new Thor. I
Yeah.
feel like he becomes a beast. He's just like
I like
he's
this
just
drink.
someone you
Another.
don't want to. Another. What the heck is wrong with you? What? I liked it. Anyway, but yeah,
No more smashing.
I like the new Thor.
Okay.
So the top three. I'm just sad they can't put Wolverine into the Avengers. If
Him
they
or
could,
Spider-Man.
oh my gosh, if they could, Avengers
So-
would be even.
Sony, just work with them. You'll make so much money.
Please.
My gosh.
We should sign a petition.
Sign a petition.
Probably thousands of petitions signed by the same people over and over. Anyways, yeah.
Begging them.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay. So Eamon, who are your top three?
Superman all the way. And then definitely second would have to be just because I love reading about him, watching movies. Obviously, Batman. Superman,
Okay.
Batman. And just because mainly I love Superman Batman's friendship. It's,
Uh-huh.
Superman's the good, Batman's the dark,
Right.
light, dark.
And if you read in the comics, just so you know, this is randomly throwing that out there. Captain America and Iron Man actually do become really good friends,
Mm-hmm.
just like Batman and Superman. But that just reminded me of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
And then I think this may surprise you, but third would probably Flash. Flash and the
Really?
tie between Flash. Oh, actually, oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry, not Flash. Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
He is so cool. I think they
I've
changed
heard-
his name to Shazam now, which is really stupid.
Since Marvel became its own thing, they didn't want to seem like they're copying Marvel.
Yeah,
But
he's been around for years.
yeah, longer. I think since
Yeah,
before Marvel was a
Earth's
thing.
mightiest mortal. He controls lightning. He said when he says Shazam, he's actually like a 10-year-old boy, but when he says the word Shazam, he changes into this super-powered man, mortal.
I wonder what he said at first. Marvel!
Marvel. Dude, he's always said Shazam. I don't know why they would. I don't think it's. And he doesn't look very cool.
Yeah.
I don't like how they changed him though.
Really?
But I mean, still, his powers are legit.
Yeah.
But yeah. What about you, Sean?
My favorite three heroes.
Yeah.
Would probably be
Favorite DC.
Well,
Heroes.
no,
DC.
number one, my number one favorite hero would be Captain America.
Yeah.
My-
John,
my-
have you ever wanted to like fall off a cliff or something? 'Cause
No.
Oh,
Wow.
my second favorite hero is the Flash. Okay, and then I don't know if I have a third favorite hero.
He's trying to play mediator. He doesn't.
Well, I lean towards Marvel more. I like Marvel more, but I'm letting you guys, make it even. Right now, the score is still tied. It is a 2-2 score right now. Marvel has Stan Lee and Hawkeye. DC has Superman and Teamwork.
Teamwork. TEAM team.
What's gonna work? Teamwork.
Okay.
That's from the Wonder Pets on Nick Jr.
Anyways,
Yeah,
before we
boy.
get off on that tangent.
Right.
Please get off of that tangent.
You don't like that tangent?
This feels good. This feels good. Put your back up against the wall and then put your knees up against the. They're
Desk?
not letting us have chairs, or food or drink. Anyways,
That's
We're prisoners.
it's nothing I have control over, so I
during
apologize.
the songs, they're tasering us.
totally kidding.
Please, sir, no more, sir.
So between Marvel and DC, who would you say has better origin stories all around?
Oh, goodness.
Oh, that's a rough question. Okay, I'm sorry to say it. I feel like Superman does not have a good origin story because it's just like, okay, he came in a pod, landed on Earth, like it's cool.
From in the middle of nowhere in space.
Oh,
Yeah.
something from Krypton.
Yeah, and they had to develop his story like way after. Okay, when it comes to like
They did.
like origin stories, like I love what they did with the Captain America because it was so true. Like he was scrawny, he had a huge heart. He tried to be like the best he could be with what he had, and then with the serum, it amplified what was like from in the inside and put it outside. It made him the hero. I feel like with origin, I gotta lean towards Marvel a lot.
I was a boy,
And now I'm a bat.
No, I think Batman has one of the coolest. I think most everybody knows his origin story.
Mm-hmm. His parents
I think-
died.
Aren't your parents dead too?
Well, I mean, all the best heroes are orphans. There's Batman, Superman, Spider-Man is, Captain America is
Yeah.
an orphan.
Something about orphans.
Yeah. Harry Potter. I mean, if we're
I
gonna
think-
go off the tangent, Harry Potter's an orphan.
Iron Man's got a great origin story because he wasn't born with this.
Right.
Nothing really traumatized him when he was younger. It was, this.
The good
event.
life.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he had a good. He had a
He
man
was
who
just
had
following
everything
his
and nothing.
father's footsteps and having this big weapons
Which,
company.
by the way, his father was a boss.
Right?
And like it's like Tony, you're a spoiled little brat. Like, and
Yeah,
then he
just-
becomes an amazing person, like just
Yeah,
from
yeah.
one experience.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Well, very traumatizing.
yeah,
Very.
being held prisoner in a cave in the Middle East.
See, the thing is, I don't feel like they follow because I've never ever heard of a comic or read one where they actually take the shrapnel out.
Shrapnel?
And they like.
Shrapnel. You said shrapnel.
Did I say shrapnel?
It's
Shrapnel.
really embarrassing.
Anyway, so they never took that out in the comics or anything, but they did in Iron Man 3. So I'm just like, I don't know, because I feel like that was the thing that was really, like they took out what began
The
Iron Man.
heart-wrenching stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like none of the Marvel backstories and origin stories aren't quite as dark as DC's, which are all death.
There's some
and
there's some dark ones. Like for sure, Batman has a very dark.
being 8 years old, watching his parents get shot down. This
and-
play is boring. Let's go home. If he had just sat through it,
You could say it was boring. Remember, he had that traumatizing bats coming after him, so he when he fell down in the movie, he fell down the well, the old abandoned well.
yeah, but that's not like why the reason. I mean, his parents died because they were shot in an alley because he went to the theater or the opera or something with them, and
Yeah,
he-
so that's part of the reason.
What's-
Batman came to be because of that guilt of he blames himself
yeah.
when of course his parents wouldn't blame him.
Yeah, but if Bruce Wayne had just, as a kid, had just sat through the show,
just bucked up.
then
It's cool though. On another note, there's about Batman. There's in a different universe, like there's parallel universes everywhere, right? He instead of Bruce watching his parents die. His parents watch Bruce die, which turns his mom insane. She becomes the Joker,
Really?
and his dad becomes a Batman.
Wow.
And that's part of the but in this one, but in that universe, his dad isn't afraid to kill. You know, and he's not the businessman. He's a casino owner. You know, used to be a doctor, and so that's part of the reason he never can take down Joker, because it was his wife. You know,
Yeah.
that guilt drives him so. But yeah, I think honestly, Batman, his origin story is like the best.
Yeah.
If we're going on the dark side, then yeah, like if we were talking about a better like dark background, I'd say DC has it. But I feel like just in superhero development, I feel like Marvel has it.
Well, I think and not just origin
Because-
stories. I mean, Superman. Why? I'm sorry to interrupt. But Superman. I mean, it's not just like that one. Oh, he was sent to Earth. It was he was raised by really good people. You know, who found him instead of being like, oh, an alien. You know, oh, a freak. They took him in and they raised him. You know, they didn't treat him any differently. You know, when his powers came, you know, they just kind of like, oh, you got powers? Okay, good. You know, we got to go to work now.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Develop them as you can. You know. But yeah, it's interesting because in the movie Man of Steel, it's his dad's like, oh yeah, don't show your powers, but in the comics, his dad's Kent,
Yeah,
his
Jonathan
dad,
Kent.
Jonathan Kent, yeah, gives him the idea, you know, you create a secret identity, you know, create a superhero. Here, we'll make a costume for you.
Yeah.
So it's opposite in movie comics. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I was just throwing it out there. I was just saying, with development in I guess just the origins of superheroes, I feel like Marvel just still has it because you have Tony Stark, spoiled rich boy, goes through just something bad, takes what he can, like the best that he can from it, and becomes someone. He realizes that his company is corrupt and that he needs to change it.
Mm-hmm.
There's Captain America, who honestly so picked on, nobody cares about him, even though he's the nicest, coolest guy in the world. You know, he could have just turned out to be a terrible person, but he just keeps going, you know, and it's because of his heart that he becomes the hero. You have Thor, prideful, just can't listen to, like, you know, his dad, anyone, like, you know, he doesn't really think. He thinks he can take on the world and beat it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets humbled. He becomes a fantastic hero because, you know, he's humble now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you have Hulk, and I don't even know what Hulk is. But he gets less dumb. He finally starts learning words and stuff. No, I'm just kidding.
You know one of the coolest backstories, I think, Deadpool. Have you heard his backstory?
No, I don't. I know about him,
is,
but I haven't heard his backstory.
He was before what they did to him to make him made him insane. Like,
Really?
he had cancer. It was killing him. And they said, "Oh, here's a way out. Project X."
Mm-hmm.
Not like the movie, you know, Wolverine. Not like in the Wolverine movie. That just was
Yeah,
garbage.
they didn't take
That was,
like all this DNA and stuff.
I know
and
they
make
no.
stuff. They didn't.
Like, you know, they gave it to him, cured him of his cancer.
Mm-hmm.
He thought he was fine, and then the skin on his face and neck and body started to peel. And they were like, "Oh yeah, about that.
That's a thing.
We've secretly injected you in this, and so your body you'll never die. Basically, like you'll always heal. And you know you're mercenary now for us. So and it turns him insane. Like that's what you know breaks him. So
Yeah.
I liked his backstory. You know,
Mhm.
from desperate man seeking help to insane mercenary killer,
Yeah.
who's hilarious,
Yeah, he's so sassy and
funny. Oh my goodness.
witty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Deadpool is one of those characters that you wouldn't think is super popular, but everyone knows him. Everyone who's in comics at all knows who Deadpool is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I think Deadpool is trying to like rise up in like most popular costumes at Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's still, you know, the millions of Star Wars and, you know, whatever, but
Star Trek.
Yeah, but it's like as far as like superheroes, I think Deadpool's getting really high up there, and the amount of Deadpools
It just
are
makes you
comic.
wonder if they're really gonna do anything with it.
They really should.
They should.
Yeah.
I just feel like because Sony has their hold on the whole X-Men thing, and they had Deadpool in it, so
gosh.
Sony's just kind of ruining it right now. But You know, if they would just open it up, I'm sure someone could do something really amazing with it. Or if Sony just finally decides to do something good.
Yeah, they did. I think they did art with Amazing Spider-Man. I liked Amazing Spider-Man better than
the Andrew Garfield one.
Yeah, the one with Andrew Garfield more than. I mean, the very first Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. I loved that movie.
Oh yeah.
The second one was cool. Third one was just like ruined the entire. Like I've never seen a movie ruin an entire series like that.
And it's just funny because like in the entire movie, he's never in the suit.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like the skinny guy. And then if you notice, when he comes in finally in the suit and he has the mask off, he has like, he's just chubby, you know? He's not fit. He's got like the love handles going and everything.
Or like when he's like in the dancing scene, there's this GIF that goes around like the internet of him when he like turns around, takes off his jacket and like tries to like clench his jaw and his cheeks go. He's just and it just looks really ridiculous with like his black goth hair.
I don't know what they were thinking of that one. It was just they were just shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah,
and I
think it ruined.
I
think it ruined Tobey Maguire's career
for a time. Yeah, he's making a comeback.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's like Fantastic Four, just terrible. Gosh. Anyways, continue.
Okay, so wait, where were we?
Glad they're redoing that because they can't use Christopher Evans now.
I really wish we had chairs. What?
I'm sorry. Okay, so origin stories. Have we pretty much come to a tie on that one?
I don't know. Still feel Marvel has it.
I feel DC has it.
So yes, it's tie.
So please text in and voice your opinion because we can't come up with a tiebreaker.
You can text KAGE with either Marvel or DC for origin stories, or we still have no one's texted in for Batman or Iron Man, which is better. So text in your opinions on one or both of those to 66746, because right now the score is still tied 2-2, Marvel versus DC. We're trying to see which one's better, guys. What are you guys saying? What? Okay. You know
we're talking about Sean.
Oh
my gosh, he's looking at us again. I thought we told him not to.
Pulling out the taser.
Stop, please.
I'm sorry. Ow.
I don't know how it sounds like. I know it's like clicking sound. Okay, so in the locations, like in the where like they set place, Marvel uses real places like New York, Brooklyn, Hell's Kitchen. They go to Afghanistan.
Where were half of the battles going on in Man of Steel? I just thought about it.
Yeah,
Well, Metropolis like at the very end.
No,
Smallville,
Kansas. Which is in a place, and then you use Metropolis has Gotham, has other places like the Central City, which none of those are real places. So do you think it's better to do them in real world or to make up these cities? Because if you put it in the real world, that people can relate to them and you can have more, like understanding what it's about. But if you make up your own cities, then it doesn't have to follow whatever the real world says the city is.
Yeah.
How many times has New York been destroyed? Let's count.
It's getting kind of annoying, honestly.
That's where all of our taxes are going.
I think when creating your own world opens up, hundreds of options, if not thousands, that you can do with your characters. But having a character in the real world
brings in the audience.
Brings in a realism that a fake world can't. But I mean, Gotham has just become such a great part of society. People just not metaphorically, it's a real city to
everyone
in
knows
the hearts of everybody. Everybody knows what Gotham is.
Yeah.
Most people know what Metropolis is. Nobody knows what Central City is. But Flash lives there.
Yeah, that's where the Flash is.
I just think.
And then what's the Green Lanterns?
Coast City.
Coast City.
I don't know if that's a real city though.
I don't think so.
It's blown
There's
up.
an Ocean City and there's Atlantic City, but I think that they are based off of, and those are both.
They're
in
all
New Jersey.
based off real cities.
Yeah, and so Coast City is based off Ocean City and Atlantic City, which are both in New Jersey.
Due to copyright purposes, the song cannot be played.
A little wild, just
I feel like
Clips
Marvel
of some-
does that, but also puts in reality.
yeah,
Because you're escaping it
as
with
soon as you
superheroes.
add superheroes,
Yeah.
reality's gone.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Exactly.
So this is pretty much a tie on this one as well.
I win.
No, Marvel.
Win for DC, baby.
Okay, so once again, if you guys have an opinion, which is a better idea to put it in real cities or fictional cities, text KAGE with Marvel or DC to 66746. We also have no one's text or
Marvel. DC. Marvel.
DC.
Marvel.
DC.
Marvel.
I'll use my Batman voice.
There's also origin stories, which one's better, and there's still Batman or Iron Man. Which one's better?
I'll use my
Wait,
hope for
we
it.
said. I thought we said Batman.
No.
No, we said Iron Man would win out of that one because of his technology.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's technology and fighting skills,
See, now that I think about it, I think Batman would still win. But
which is what you said earlier.
yeah, I think Batman would win.
And he thinks
Oh,
Iron.
that's a tie. That was a tie.
well,
I
it's
said Iron Man.
it's not just fighting skills though. It's the character in
For
its
a guy who
entirety.
can take down Superman, I think you can take down Iron Man. But if it's
That's just because Superman gave him the ring. You even brought
no,
that
not
point
even
up
that. Not even
yourself.
he didn't even have the ring with him when in Dark Knight Returns. He
Okay.
didn't have a ring with him. He didn't pull out Kryptonite until the last.
And that's
until
the
after
thing, though,
he'd beaten Superman down.
Batman
so
had all
tough.
that time to study Superman. If it came to just a straight up brawl between Batman and Iron Man, there was no like.
I think Batman would have thought it out more. Would have. What are you doing?
I mean, like in the middle of this fight, he'd be trying to think of a way to beat him. But the honest truth,
Yes.
the honest truth is that Iron Man just has better technology, and when it comes down to it, if he gets him with it, it's done.
But Batman's Batman.
And
I
Batman,
mean,
well,
It's
Batman,
still a tie.
Wait,
No,
you
no,
agreed
'cause-
with me on this.
hold on.
Christian Bale's Batman
No,
over Iron Man.
I said in like a fist to fist, but now that I think about it, fist to fist.
So this is a tie.
No,
Dang it.
no. Hold on, listen. Fist to fist, Iron Man would win because when Batman punches him, it's not gonna hurt.
Batman doesn't have to punch him.
He can try. What else does he got?
He's got his belt.
Doesn't
Yeah, he's
he-
got gadgets.
He's got all his gadgets. He's got no explosive
What
devices.
gadget could he use that would overpower Iron Man's gadgets?
A batarang could go through his suit.
Yeah, you have no idea what this
Batarang?
is.
The batarang.
Thousands of batarangs.
But a
I
batarang.
don't think it would because what it really is, it's just a ninja star shaped
He's
like a
EMP.
bat.
He's got EMP. He's got that EMP. Remember? He pulls it
Iron
out.
Man has the paralyzing ear thing.
No, he doesn't use that though.
He
Batman
could.
pulls out. Batman pulls out the EMP. Iron Man's down, and Robert Downey Jr. Tony Stark is stuck in the suit. Batman comes in and just says,
Yeah, so, but it's not just fighting skills. Remember, it's fighting skills and, intelligence and abilities to do other
Batman
things
intelligence,
with personality and...
Batman has the intelligence and a combat sense. Tony Stark
and
has the.
strategy and
No, here's the
everything
thing
else,
though.
and business,
With
I mean.
technology, once again, we'll go back to the AMT thing. Pretty sure AMP, whatever, I don't care. Okay, I'm pretty sure Tony Stark would have something to combat against that because remember how in the third movie, Tony Stark, they couldn't hack into his system and figure out where he was or anything, because he didn't want anyone to find him. He didn't want Mandarin to find him at all. So, Tony Stark has, I don't know, technology well past anyone else's. There's no way Batman could hack into it.
And I think honestly, didn't you ask us also a financial question between the two? Like who was
Tony-
richer? or something
Tony
like that?
Stark is richer.
Yeah. But I think also that helps Iron Man because remember he has no secret identity. He just came out and said, "I am Iron Man."
Yeah.
So he's not hiding it. But I mean, unlike Batman, who's keep it to myself because I'm the Joker. But anyways, yeah.
So we're gonna let the people decide that, and but since you just
Marvel,
but seeing as how you just said the words "I am Iron Man," I'm gonna have to play a little bit of Black Sabbath. That was Iron Man by Black
Oh.
Sabbath.
I'm Batman.
You guys listen to Fandom Life?
Batman.
Very nice. We were talking Marvel versus DC. Which one's better? I'm here, Sean Tasker. For Marvel is Brady Pope. Say hi, Brady. And for DC is Eammon Larsen. Say hi, Eammon.
Go away. Don't listen.
Oh,
Listen,
that
listen.
hurts.
Hey, that's 1 point for Marvel now. Just so,
And then 1 point for them and 10 taken away. So
from DC, yeah.
embarrassing.
10
taken away
points
from Marvel,
from
added
DC.
to DC, and then 50 more added to DC.
For what? You being a terrible person on the right.
For being mean.
Can't say what you want to say.
Mean.
See, that's why we should have had pen. We could have written stuff down to each other.
Anyway.
Anyway, back to what we're talking about. So we were talking about which one is better between, we had
Marvel.
origin stories,
DC?
Marvel.
the cities that they use. So now we're going to talk about the creativity and originality of the characters.
Oh, yeah, Marvel wins.
So you say that, but remember, there's Thor, which is, not
A
creative at
god.
all.
What?
He's
He's a god.
he's a
from
Norse god.
myth.
Take-
You knew that, right?
Do you know? Okay.
Did
Yes,
you know
I
that?
did know that. But
Brady didn't know that.
oh my gosh. Yes, I did. But here's
Brady
the
had no idea. I read his diary. He had no idea.
He have a diary?
In your diary, Thor is so creative
I
of
didn't
Marvel.
know Thor was. Oh my gosh. No, okay, no. Anyway, gosh. Okay. Thor aside, let's be honest. They all have. I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm gonna just kind of diss a little on DC. Everyone is almost the same. Everyone
no way.
flies, or the ones that don't, they're stupid. Okay, we need a new hero. How about we make a rich guy that goes away for a little while, but instead of being a ninja this time, we're gonna make him an archer. But instead of black, he's gonna wear green. Okay. And we now have Green Arrow.
That's the movie.
Or
origin
JK, it's a
story.
green Batman.
But is that-
with a bow and arrow.
So he's not a rich guy?
origin story
Oliver Queen's
in
not
the
rich?
comics, no.
Anyway,
No.
and then there's Superman, and then there's
Superman, but wait. Superman though is the original. Superman is the original.
Stop fighting over the mic. Stop fighting over the mic.
Superman's the original
Look at the mic.
superhero.
Okay.
So you can't really.
You'll have your turn.
Every other superhero is based off.
Marvel first. We're going Marvel first.
Okay, so Marvel, you can hardly. I don't think any of the characters are the same, unless of course, you throw out the ones that that were sexist. People were like, "Oh, why is there a man Hulk and there can't be a woman Hulk?" So She-Hulk came to life, and
Stupidest character.
I know, but it's just kind of like with those. We'll put those character aside
Yeah.
on both DC and Marvel. We won't talk about those. We're
The
gonna talk
female
about
versions of the male characters.
yeah,
No,
things
for
like,
some of them work out.
yeah, it's like Wonder Woman. Like that's fantastic.
Well,
you know?
she's not a. But the thing
And what's
is,
funny is Marvel. There's like a random character that was Marvel Man or something like that. Oh, not Marvel Man. Sorry,
Miss Marvel?
No,
Miss Marvel?
Wonder Man. Wonder Man. And it was like he
Wonder Man.
he was nothing like Wonder Woman though, for sure. Like honestly, like what happens is when he punches someone, it like sparks pretty much. It's fabulous. Fabulous. Anyway, but no. So with with Marvel superheroes, I feel like there's originality in every single one of them. None of them are close to the same. They don't have close to the same abilities.
Right.
Where with DC, either everyone flies or people are super intelligent with combat and things like that. Like they're all, I feel like, close to the same. They have they barely have different abilities. So, for example, we'll use the example of Green Lantern and Superman. They're basically the same person, just Green Lantern has a ring that can do a lot of stuff.
No, well, yeah.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
One's an alien.
one's a fighter pilot.
One's a fighter pilot. One's.
Okay,
know,
we're going with
One
that.
can
sort?
create anything from imagination.
Well,
one...
you're saying they're basically the same. One, yeah, has a ring that.
I'm gonna have to
has willpower.
say. I'm gonna say that Superman and Green Lantern are absolutely nothing alike.
Okay, fine. Throw that one out there.
Super
Let's
bad.
get rid of that. But pretty much everyone's, they either look the same, or I don't know. I'm just gonna say that. Like, I just don't like the fact that every
Are
DC
they all,
character is
they're all photogenic.
no, they're all ridiculous. Like they all have ridiculous powers. Like you even said it yourself, the Green Lantern, a ring that can pretty much do anything because it's by willpower.
Yeah, and
What kind of Marvel
imagination.
superhero has something like that? Oh, none. That's right, because we're realistic. People can die. The only one that's the hardest to kill is Hulk. just because his muscles are so dense that like bullets can't penetrate them.
Well, and he shot himself. He tried to commit suicide as Bruce Banner, and then he turned into the Hulk and shoot and spat the bullet out.
Yeah, like he's just the hardest one to kill, just because he with the gamma radiation and just like the serum that Captain America took that, he was trying to replicate again. Like with the freak accident that happened, he's just the hardest one to kill. Mm-hmm. Even like Thor could pretty much. They even say it in Avengers, like Loki's like they think us immortals, but we can't die. Like Loki, if Thor would not have gotten out of that cage, he would have died. He would have been gone.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the thing though. Like it's realistic. They can die like anywhere in the world. With any not with any like situation, but like with most. Anyway, that's my spiel.
See, let me put it this way: Marvel heroes are just the DC heroes split up. Fantastic Four are just split up. Avengers are just like different versions of DC characters. They all take from each other. You can't just think of the heroes. You gotta think of also the people who created these. Like Superman is the original hero,
Which gives DC a huge lead.
mm-hmm. and Batman, the original mortal superhero, the original man. Everything else, they all came after those two mainly. Mm-hmm. I mean, but they're not interchangeable. Superman, Green Lantern, completely different.
Yeah, that was a pretty weak argument on your part.
Ha!
Thanks, Sean. Good mediator.
You've made some pretty good arguments. That was not one of them.
Yeah, but I mean, like, look at Captain America, and look at Hawkeye. Look at Punisher. You could
Daredevil.
all of them, each one, and Daredevil.
Actually,
Daredevil's blind. I give him that.
Hold on.
Daredevil's blind.
Go back to that example of Punisher. Did you know actually Punisher, his role model was Captain America?
Yeah.
So that's the
they
thing
all just change out the weapon, and you still got the same basic person.
And actually, when Captain America dies, Punisher for a long while actually wears his star on his uniform, and he takes Captain America's place with like it within the army and everything. Like he tries to help out as best as he can. Mm-hmm. Then somehow Captain America comes back in a wormhole, random. But
that was a hard.
I feel like that's where Marvel should have. They shouldn't have done that. It's kind of like when Superman died. They shouldn't have brought him back because it was such an epic ending. I feel like.
Yeah, and being buried in the statue and everything.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to bring back. I mean, but now after Superman died, let's be honest. After they killed Superman, superheroes just started falling off the map like that. But then they just started coming back, just like that, to the point where it's like, this is getting ridiculous, To the point where it's like nowadays, when anybody dies in a movie, 90% of the time you're just like, they're coming back. They're coming back.
Especially if you watch Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
We should
Or Sherlock.
the way the world should go. We should I feel like we need to make the next generation kind of thing. Like we have all these fantastic heroes, but where's the next generation? Because we can't keep going off of the same people over for like forever. Like we can still do it for like now, but
see, that's what I think. Superman and Batman, Captain America, Iron Man, those are like the immortal heroes. I feel like those guys.
Yeah. There's those few that are never gonna go away.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's because they are the most. They are like the original. They're the iconic. Actually, funny thing, Iron Man used to be just a middle class. Nobody really knew him until the movie came out. And then once the movie came out,
really?
Yeah, nobody really knew him before the movie, unless you really. But anyways, those I think guys because they are they're the original.
Yeah.
And every other hero is based off of them.
Yeah.
In some way, like oh goodness, I can't think of anything.
I don't see it.
I was having a brain fart. But yeah.
I'm listening to the argument. I just don't see it. Like,
don't see what?
You're saying they're taking like bits and pieces from it. Like I don't see a similarity in Superman and Captain America other than they're good people and they're good leaders. That's the only quality Captain America and Superman share.
Wait, we're talking about.
What was the original question? We're talking about superpowers and especially superpowers.
What was the original question?
What
was the original question?
The original question was DC or Marvel. Which one's more original?
DC.
What?
DC.
That was not the question.
Original and creative was the word.
Yeah, creative. Yeah, we're talking about creative.
I thought it was creative.
Creativity.
Sorry, I used the words interchangeably.
How dare you?
I used the words
Sean,
interchangeably.
Leave.
This is my
station.
show.
No, it's not anymore.
This is my show.
Anyway.
Not according to this document.
That's a blank piece of paper.
No, it's not. It has copyright.
Anyway,
It's the last page that
DC.
accidentally
going
prints
back
off.
to going back to creativity.
DC is the original.
I feel
You
like-
had your spill. My turn.
You just finished yours.
I know you keep interrupting me.
Guys,
You
guys,
interrupted me more than
guys.
Anyways,
And now
this is about so much more than
Okay.
comics, isn't it?
Let me just
This isn't
throw
about
this
me, is
out
it?
there. Okay. This is why I feel like Eammon's argument is not valid whatsoever because I can't see a similarity between the creativity of the characters. Like he's saying there's bits and pieces of like the original characters in everyone. I don't see it. You know, I don't see hold on, let me finish. I don't see how Superman, like parts of Superman are in all of these heroes. Tony Stark, how is Tony Stark anything like Clark Kent?
No, it's not what you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. I'm saying these heroes are they're original, iconic. So every other hero is based off of these guys
the Superman, Batman, Captain America,
and Iron Man, essentially.
They're based after him, like
Okay,
but
well, I
they're
think-
not off of each other.
I think Iron Man is based off of Batman.
Yeah.
Was Batman made first or was Iron Man made first? Okay.
Batman was the second superhero to ever come out.
Okay,
It was
then-
Superman
then-
and
Yeah,
then-
Batman used to use a gun.
Then I think that Iron Man is based off of Batman
okay.
because he's rich.
I'll
and he
give you
makes his
that
own
with
stuff.
the richness, but like the
Technology.
thing is,
Yeah.
no, that's the only thing
They
that's in
create their
common. though.
own
It's just-
stuff, and they've
Both
But the
blame
personality-
themselves.
both blame for themselves
Guilt.
for what's
Okay.
happened.
Both trying to hide their past.
Well, the thing is, no, Tony Stark's not trying to hide his past. What he's trying to do is he's trying to fix what happened. Like what his company went corrupt, and he had no intention.
He let it.
He had no intention of becoming a superhero. He didn't until that situation happened where, he got bombed and whatever, and then he realized that his company was corrupt. So what he was at first trying to do was to make sure his company wasn't corrupt anymore. He wasn't even trying to be a hero. He wasn't. He was just trying to make something that could defend, I guess, America or like help it out, not be a weapon anymore, because that's all he was making, weapons of mass destruction, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I feel like they're not off of each other, because it's like you get.
But I mean, I think DC's more creative, more original, because look at the members of the Justice League. Almost all of them are different. You got Hawkman, Martian Manhunter. You know what I'm talking about?
I've heard
Green
of him.
guy. Yeah.
I've heard of him.
No.
Yeah,
You guys
Bald.
I know who he
Both
is.
are giving me
He's
blank
bald.
looks.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm not even looking at you.
You both have like blank looks. Anyways, but
'Cause
see,
I don't know
like
much
those
about
guys, and then you've got Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, obviously, Green Arrow. I wonder who came first, Green Arrow, Hawkeye. But anyways, but you got more bigger diversity, bigger differences between characters.
What?
You heard me. You got Martian Manhunter.
The reason why the Avengers
look at
could
the-
not get along was they were so different.
Yeah,
It
that's
took,
good.
it
Difference
took
is good,
someone,
but no, it's
but it took someone dying for
that's
them
their
all
own.
to finally
That's
just
their
put
own
away their
pride
differences.
getting in the way.
I think that's just in the movie though.
Yeah, in most of the
No,
series.
because even in the comics, like when other Avengers weren't in there at first, they wouldn't let them in for a specific reason. Like we were just before the show, we were talking actually about Spider-Man, how Spider-Man was an original Avenger, just because he wouldn't come out and say he was Peter Parker. The government didn't know who he was. He was still
and
hiding.
they thought he was too young and immature. But
things like that. Yeah.
And then there's also that video game where I forgot what it's called, but where like it's all Marvel heroes split up into two teams. One thinks that they should register, and like
that's based off of Marvel Civil War, the comic series, which is
Oh, really?
incredible.
I really like the video game. I think I played the second game of that. I don't know. I don't remember if I ever played it. I don't remember what it's called though either. But it was such a good game. It really was. It was like
I've just gotta
pro-registration
say-
versus anti-registration.
Like going back to the question, yes, you have Superman and Batman as the first superheroes, but yet you can't say that every superhero is based off of them, because I feel like they aren't, because I don't see the similarities between like Thor with any of them, with Hulk.
There would be no Marvel
Okay, well,
if there weren't any DC, or
that
actually, if it
is-
started
Yeah,
out as
okay.
action comics.
That
There
is
would
a-
be
yeah.
no Marvel.
There would be
without
no,
Superman.
without a superhero first coming out. So whoever came up with the first superhero, that's fine. But what I'm
DC
saying
action
is,
comics.
yeah, but when it comes to when they kept bringing out other superheroes, they weren't kind of backtracking off of other people.
Right.
They came up with original people with original abilities that weren't close to each other.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the
Captain
moderator is stepping in, because this is going on longer than I thought this question would. But from what I can tell from this conversation, Superman was the first one, and that's a point to DC. If we go back to the locations, they create their own cities. That's another point to DC. And then the fact that one of Marvel's current biggest heroes is Thor, which isn't an original. I'm gonna have to say that DC wins this one. Woo! When it comes to
DC for life.
at the end of the game, when it comes to creativity, originality from the very beginning, and like how like they are, how they've gotten to where they are, I'm gonna have to say that DC wins this one.
Yes.
But then we got to think about who's bigger right now, and it's definitely Marvel.
Oh, Marvel's definitely.
Well, of course, because of movies.
Since the Avengers movie came out, like the Dark Knight series made DC really big, and then once Avengers came out, it squished DC back into the dirt.
Except for the Dark Knight Rises.
It doesn't
never came out.
matter
They both
how
made
original it is, what they do with it. Marvel is definitely on top just because
Currently.
Currently.
No, wait.
They're-
There's no way
they're-
Justice League is going to do anything.
No.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
especially
well.
since they changed the name from Justice League to Batman vs Superman.
Well, it's no, because it's Batman vs Superman movie.
But yeah, but
It's a segue into
they-
Justice League.
It's a segue. It really is. They're going to make.
Yeah, of course. It's like all the
DC can't leave it alone. They can't be like, oh my gosh, Marvel has Avengers. They feel like they have to do Justice League.
Of course, they have to.
that's true.
So that's the thing. Like without that competition, they're hoping. Honestly, they're hoping for something. They're hoping that Justice League will somehow do just as well as Avengers or better. But the thing is, Avengers 2 is going to come out right behind it,
Yeah.
and it's just going to stomp it right back down.
No, Batman.
Then there's like
Superman's
Guardians of the
coming out
Galaxy thing that
Is
I'm.
it?
2016.
Then there's like Guardians of the Galaxy thing, and I don't know
I'm
what that
excited for
is. But from what I can tell, there's a raccoon in it that has a machine gun.
Guardians of the Galaxy is.
Guardians of the Galaxy
I
is-
give props to Marvel for coming up. With
I don't even know what that
Guardians
is.
of the
I've not
Galaxy, 'cause
done
they
any
are
research on that. I have no idea what that is, and it looks
incredible.
really
You
weird.
Look into Guardians of the Galaxy because they are. They're like the space version of Avengers, but I think they're more fun, honestly.
Man, I still
They don't take themselves as seriously.
still have paint all over me.
I know, right?
Thank you,
From our-
Mary Johnson, for getting paint all over me today.
Shout out to
Fun
Madeline Workman. You're so beautiful.
Okay,
and
okay.
Let's cuddle.
Let's
Aim it.
not make this a personal thing. But just so there are only like 5 minutes left, and since none, and shut up. And since, will you stop it?
I was Brady.
What?
I was Brady.
You were me.
I was Brady.
So, okay. But seeing as how none of our listeners have texted in or
goodness.
have tweeted in,
They'd be all mine.
I didn't want any hardcore fans texting in, or else they would have whooped us.
So since none of that, then that
We
means
had our answers ready.
Marvel has Stan Lee and Hawkeye. DC has Superman, Teamwork, and their original. I'm gonna have to say that
Still disagree
DC.
with that, but it's okay.
I still say that Marvel's still my favorite, but from this debate alone, I'm gonna have to say that DC wins. So we're gonna have to play a little celebratory song for DC. They can still hear you.
I know they can hear
Okay, so once
me.
again,
Brady.
this has been Fandom Life. I'm your host Sean Tasker. You can follow me on Twitter at SEAN_TASKER. That's for Twitter. Do you guys have a Twitter or anything? You guys want people to follow you on Facebook? Want you on Facebook or friend you on
We
Facebook?
want to.
Spell your name then. EA Games. That's in the game.
Yeah. I don't know if you want.
He's
Find me in the future.
he's taken though, ladies. Just so you know.
I am taken, and I'm happily taken, and she is one of the most wonderful ladies I've ever met in my entire life. I'm
And
so happy.
if
to
she's
meet her.
listening, she's blushing. No,
I
she-
hope she is, but she's probably not.
Yeah, but that I think that just about does it. Once again, this is Phantom Life. Tune in next week. I'm not sure what we're gonna talk about yet, but DC has won this battle. Good night, everybody.
Marvel's better.
Say bye, guys.
DC!
better.
DC for life! DC! DC! DC!